Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and in today's video I'm going to give you 5 essential tasks that the best truck drivers in the country have mastered, and after this video you're going to know exactly what they are and you can be one of the best. So how do we define the best, and why should you be the best truck driver in the country? The best just simply means you have the most options, which means you're going to have the best routes that you want to drive. You're going to be making the best amount of money that you want to make because you are the best. Now, if you want to get into that category of the best, now every industry has them. These are at minimum the 5 things you have to master in order to be one of the best truck drivers in the entire country itself. First step is going to be pretty obvious, is that's the main task, the main responsibility is going to be vehicle operation. So what does that actually mean? That means operating the entire vehicle in a safe manner, moving from point A to point B. So realistically, you're going to be responsible for driving 80,000 pounds on wheels, going 75, 80 miles an hour in some parts of the country in a safe environment. Now those things are dangerous if you don't know what they're doing. But like what Spider-Man says, with great power comes great responsibility. And you are going to have a lot of power driving one of these big rigs. That being said, vehicle operations is going to be super important. That simply means making sure that you are being safe on the road, making sure you're not becoming distracted, making sure that the most important priority that you do have is going to be driving this truck from point A to point B in the safest and most time efficient way possible. Nothing else is a priority besides that. What are some tips and tricks that the best truck drivers do to master truck operations? Is going to be they have a lot of time behind the wheel. So here at Driving Academy, we actually help you get that jump start on it. At the end of the training here with Driving Academy or any other school, you are not going to be a professional driver. The professionals are going to come with time with anything else. But one of the cool things that we do here at Driving Academy that actually helps you out with vehicle operation is going to be our simulators. We are one of the few schools in the country that actually offer simulation training. And we like to say we like to give people years of experience within a few days of training, simply because our simulators are so powerful. What are we able to do with our simulators? We're able to actually change the weather conditions, change the environment that you're driving to give you all these different experiences, no matter what's actually happening on the outside. So by the time you actually start driving the truck, you might have had some of these experiences already. So imagine coming to school in the summertime and wanting to learn how to drive in the snow. Our simulators are able to help you do all of that. The second task that the best truck drivers have mastered is going to be load management. So as a driver, you are fully responsible for how you load your vehicle and your load itself. So for instance, if you take it to one extreme, if you get caught with an illegal substance in your load, even though you're not the one that loaded it, who do you think is responsible? You. On the other extreme, you are responsible for how your load is weighted. So all of a sudden, if you're driving down the road and you're now over 80,000 pounds, because that is the legal weight limit that you can actually be, who is responsible? You. You are the driver. Now, when it comes to loading, every load is going to look a little bit different. Generally, you're going to be loading things in a dry van trailer if you're just a general driver, right? That being said, there's many different ways to load it. You can actually pack it in by hand like a lot of the Amazon trucks do, or forklift can bring in crates or pallets, or you can have a specialty type of load. Super important is 2 things. One is going to be securing the load, making sure that the load is not going back and forth when you're starting or stopping, making sure everything is super stable, super secure. The best way to do that is going to be with these special bars that they have inside the trailers, as you can see right over here. And say you don't have a load that fills up the entire trailer, you're going to extend these bars from wall to wall, and that secures all the load in one part of the trailer. The second most important thing when it comes to loading the vehicle is going to be weight distribution. So there's 2 types of weights that you have to worry about. Your overall weight, you cannot exceed more than 80,000 pounds. And then axle weight. Every axle has a certain amount of weight limit that you can actually put on it, which means if you load the entirety of the vehicle all the way towards the back of the trailer, that means your back axle will be too heavy. Even though that your overall weight is less than 80,000 pounds, when they start weighing the actual axle, that's going to be too heavy and you're going to get fines there. So you always want to make sure that you're evening out the weight as much as possible throughout the entirety of the vehicle to make sure, 1, it's safer for you to drive so you're not top heavy or back heavy or anything like that. But 2, you're going to reduce any type of tickets. Because if you want to make the most amount of money, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. Because you can be running 24/7, making all this money, but if you get caught, have to spend all these fines, and your truck breaks down or whatever it is, that means you ain't going to be keeping none of it, and what good is any of that? So here at Driving Academy, we will give you the guidelines on how to get that career started so you can become the best of the best. The third essential task that you need to have and master if you want to become the best is going to be route planning. So a lot of people just kind of be lazy. They put something into their GPS and they just follow the GPS as they go. The best of the best out there when it comes to route planning is going to use the GPS as their tool. They're going to know where they're going, but they're actually using their brain. They're not going to have the GPS be the brain for them. They're going to be checking things like, okay, I'm going to be going from Florida all the way to Detroit, Michigan. It might be negative 20 degrees in Detroit, Michigan. It might be 80 degrees in southern Florida. So what am I planning to pack for my weather? What am I planning to pack for my truck on the weather side? Am I bringing snow chains? Am I not? The other thing is, just because the GPS is a computer doesn't mean it knows everything. The best of the best out there know how to outsmart the GPS itself, potentially get there faster, and of course with zero accidents because they actually keep their brain on throughout the route. So route planning is going to be super important simply because you're getting paid by the miles. The more miles you drive in the most time efficient way possible is the more money you can make. So if you want to become the best, that means you have to be very efficient on which route you're taking, because simply because you go 2,000 miles but it takes you 10 days versus 2,000 miles and it takes you 5 days, you're getting paid the same amount of money. So why not just do it faster, because you can be a lot more efficient that way and you can start building your wealth much faster. Fourth essential skill that the best truck drivers in the world actually take responsibility for is going to be maintenance. Now I know what you might be thinking, Jonathan, I'm just a truck driver, I'm not a maintenance man. Well, that's why you're not the best truck driver in the world if you're thinking that. So the best truck drivers in the world actually know exactly what's happening with their truck. It starts off with the inspections. So they're going to be doing a minimum a pre-trip inspection per day in the morning. When you're a student here at Driving Academy, we're going to show you the exact step-by-step how to inspect any vehicle, no matter whether it's now or any vehicle in the future as well. And you're also going to need to know how to do the inspection when it comes to the actual test itself. The second thing that they're going to be doing is going to be in-route inspection, which means they're going to be inspecting during the trip itself. And then the third type of inspection is a post-trip inspection, which means after everything's done. The best people who take responsibility for the maintenance of their vehicle are the guys who actually find things when things are small. So all of a sudden they'll see an air leak, or they'll see a little hose leak. They'll go and they'll change up the hose themselves because they have a set of tools in their truck. Then all of a sudden they're able to save a lot more money on maintenance. They're able to reduce the amount of downtime that they have as a truck driver because they understand the rule of business and the rule of money. It does not matter how much money you make, it matters how much money you keep. And there's two parts to that formula. One is to generate more income, and two is to lower your expenses. So when you want to be the best truck driver in the country, you're going to take responsibility for the maintenance yourself. You're going to study up on it. You're going to listen to YouTube. You're going to listen to podcasts. You're going to be driving in the truck a lot. So why not just educate yourself and start little by little taking responsibility for the maintenance. And we're not saying you're going to have to change the engine or rebuild the transmission or anything like that because you are a professional driver. But you can start to understand exactly how your truck operates, find the problems when they're small, so it's very easy to fix. And with probably a small little easy tool set, you're able to kind of get yourself going very easily. And the last, probably the most boring task that the best truck drivers in the world have mastered is going to be paperwork. So you have to understand that at the end of the day, truck driving is still a business. You still need some paper trail. You still need paperwork to be organized. So what kind of paperwork does a truck driver actually need? The main things are going to be like bills of lading, logs itself, like e-logs or anything like that. Making sure that your pre-trip inspections, depending on what kind of company you work for, they're going to give you the exact paperwork that you're going to need to keep organized. The easier you keep these things organized instead of just all crumbled up in your back pocket or on your passenger seat or anything like that, the faster you can actually get paid. Because if you're working for yourself or if you're working for another company, they can only invoice when they actually have proof paperwork that things were picked up. So paperwork is super boring but super important. Once you have a simple system that's organized everything's good to go. The easiest way that I've learned, if you're not tech savvy of course, is going to be like one of those accordion folders. And on this accordion folder, you're going to want to divide it a few different ways. One, if you have multiple loads and you're going to be out for a while, I've seen people kind of organize it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday type of thing. So then by the end of the week, they go to their office or they go wherever they need to go, and they can start taking out these folders here. Or you can have multiple, one just for your logs, one just for the invoices, one just for the bill of lading, depending on how you're looking to go. Now understand, you're not going to be taking textbook volume of paperwork in your truck, but it's a very simple system to keep organized without keeping all ruffled up. Is going to be great. If you are a little bit more tech savvy, our phones pretty much scan everything, and you can just scan it, email it to yourself, save it to a Google Drive, and keep yourself organized, because when it comes to looking for this stuff, that's going to be the hardest part. So as long as you're mastering those 5 essential skills, you can actually become one of the best truck drivers in the country. Now, in order to become a truck driver, you're going to need a CDL license. And if you don't have one of those yet, that's where we come in. We're here to help 1 million people get on the road to freedom with the CDL. We're the best truck driving school in the entire country. We offer guaranteed training courses, which means we're here to show you how we can guarantee that we get your license by giving you unlimited tries at the road test. We're not going to do any funny business. You're going to have to work for your license. We're going to make sure that you can actually do 100 hours of training with us minimum, and then we're going to keep taking you to the test until you pass, and no extra cost to you. The other cool thing about us is we're open up 7 days a week, which means you get to work around any kind of training schedule that you do have. We also offer lifetime job placement. So it's our job to help you find a job up until the day you die. So if you need any of our help with getting a CDL license, check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com, cdldrivingacademy.com. Thanks, and have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.